Have you ever pondered why we carefully craft our words when we communicate with others of the same gender, yet often let loose when speaking to the opposite gender? There is an undercurrent that guides our interactions, a subtle yet powerful force, the threat of violence. Picture two men embroiled in a heated discussion. Each word is chosen with care, every tone monitored. The reason? An unspoken understanding that any misstep might escalate the situation into physical confrontation. Now let's consider women. The threat of violence takes a different form, often emotional or psychological. Women too tread carefully when communicating with their own kind. The fear of triggering hostility or causing emotional harm influences the way they interact. The threat of violence, be it physical or emotional, shapes our interactions, causing us to carefully navigate our words and actions. But when it comes to cross-gender communication, the dynamics often shift. In contrast, when it comes to interactions between men and women, the threat of violence often seems to dissipate. This shift in dynamics can be fascinating to observe. Women, traditionally seen as the more expressive gender, often feel more at liberty to express their thoughts and feelings to men. This is largely because they believe that the chances of a violent reaction are significantly reduced, if not altogether absent. Let's consider a real-life case. Picture a heated exchange in a bustling city cafe. The woman is more vocal, more expressive. She's speaking her mind without holding back, secure in the belief that there will be no violent retaliation. It's an interesting phenomenon, isn't it? This perceived lack of threat allows for a more open and sometimes more confrontational dialogue. However, it's important to note that this dynamic can lead to a significant imbalance in communication norms. This disparity in communication norms, driven by the perceived threat of violence, has far-reaching implications. It perpetuates harmful stereotypes that men are inherently aggressive and women are inherently submissive. It reinforces an imbalance in power dynamics where men police each other through the threat of violence, and women police each other through fear of social ostracism. Moreover, it contributes to a cascade of misunderstanding and miscommunication, as the fear of retaliation often inhibits honest expression. Let's revisit our case study. Imagine if the threat of violence was not a factor in communication. Men could express vulnerability without fear of appearing weak. Women could be assertive without being labeled as aggressive. The conversation between the genders would be more open and honest, free from the shackles of fear and prejudice. In understanding the unspoken rules that govern our interactions, we can begin to break down these barriers and foster more open, equal, and respectful communication. Similar to the all-too-familiar keyboard warrior, safely hidden away behind a screen, remember the next time things get heated with the opposite sex, if you wouldn't speak that way to the same sex, don't do it to the opposite sex. That's all for today. Until next time.